everyone, I just thought I would do a haul a little bit differently today. Excuse all the pencils in the way. I just decided to do this on the table here because the fact that I'm kind of tired and I just didn't want to switch everything around to my bedroom tonight. But yeah, I thought I would just do it here. I thought I would start first with welcome to Rebecca's Arts Colouring Arts and Crafts. Oh, I told you I was tired. But yeah, I pretty much thought I would start with, there's not too many books here and I may have more other times depending, but I thought I would start with these copies from HarperCollins. I was actually surprised because, as you all know, I received a review copy of A Curse of Ash and Embers, and I actually received a finished copy of A Curse of Ash and Embers, so I'm really happy and excited to have the finished copy because I really loved and enjoyed this book. So as you'll probably be able to tell, I just felt a dip there. Oh well, there's a dip. It's probably from the temperatures in my room or something. But as you'll tell, the book covers are quite different. I like them both. I still kind of like this one more, but I still really like this cover. It's pretty, it's purple and pretty colours. So yeah, and yeah, there's some slight differences at the back. We've got patterns down the back here. We've still got the Winter Be My Shield, but we don't have the note of uncorrected reading copy and all of that. But yeah, I'm really happy to have these, and thanks to HarperCollins for sending me a finished copy. I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy to have it. Next is The Wise Man's Fear, Book 2. This is an anniversary edition, I'm pretty certain. So I kind of got the second book. It's not nearly the size of the other anniversary edition with the first one that I got, but I kind of figure, well, I can't be bothered buying another copy of the book just to have the same size, so yeah, we're sticking with this size, and this is a new release edition. It's an anniversary edition. I'm pretty certain it's the first edition of this edition. But yeah, so we got The Wise Man's Fear, which is all sort of gold foil. Then we got this little vine pattern around the back, and The Wise Man's Fear. I'm just going to adjust the lighting slightly so that you can see that. Yeah, I hope you can see that. And this is by Patrick Rothfuss. The other, A Curse of Ash and Embers, is by Joe Spurrier. But yeah, I'm very happy to have this edition, and at least now I've got both the books in the series, and they don't match, but I'm kind of like, well, I can't be bothered spending more money to get the matching, and it's just like, yeah, I'm happy to just have the story anyway. At least I can read it. Next book is Book 3 in the Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. This one was only released recently. It's from the Lives of Lochlamora. It's also, as you'll notice here, an anniversary edition, and it's another first edition from what I know. But it's another slightly different colour. It's got a bit of foil, a bit of pattern, a bit of matte colour. And yeah, so I'm very happy to have this as well. And it's just, yeah, nice to have it. And just to show you what it sort of looks like, I guess. I'm probably not really thinking much. I'm not sure how to explain any of these because I am so tired. So yeah, just bear with me. I'll shift these quickly and put my pencils back in the right spot because it's taking up the light. Next I have is actually The Stand by Stephen King, and I'm kind of petrified about reading this. It's the complete and uncut edition. It's actually quite teeny. It's kind of grey pages. But yeah, I kind of like the sound of the story about the biological testing faculty, but I didn't realise just how scary they were, as I said last time, till I actually looked up the information online about it and found out that it was actually really scary. And as I said, I'm not a huge person for scary books, so I'm kind of like, this is a turtleback book. Apparently it's bound for schools and libraries, but I'm kind of not a huge scary person or scary story person, so I'm kind of not sure when I'm going to get to these because I'm not currently brave enough to do it. So yeah, it's good to have it. I'm sure it's interesting, and I'm sure there's people that love it, but I kind of feel a bit sick in the stomach talking about it right now and considering reading it. But I really like the sound of the story, but I'm not keen on the fact of how scary it is. I also got Stephen King and Owen King's Sleeping Beauties. I really love the cover on this one, and the story again sounds interesting, but I'm kind of scared about shall we say, reading it, because I've read it's kind of scary still. And this is to do with all around the world, something is happening to women when they fall asleep. They become shrouded in a cocoon like gauze. If awakened, the gauze wrapping their bodies is disturbed. The women become feral and spectacularly violent. In the small town of Dooling, West Virginia, the virus is spreading through a women's prison, affecting all the inmates except one. Soon, word spreads about the mysterious Evie, who seems able to sleep and wake. Is she a medical anomaly or a demon to be slain? The abandoned men left to their increasingly primal devices are fighting each other, while Dooling's sheriff, Lila Norcross, is just fighting to stay awake. And the sleeping women are about to open their eyes to a new world altogether. And it's a limited edition with one of the 4 pictures on the cover, so I got the tiger, and it's just blue writing on the side. And whilst this sounds interesting, I'm also kind of scared to read it because of the fact, scary book kind of thing. I really like the sound of the story and the premise, but it's kind of the scare thing that I'm not certain about. But the cover is really pretty anyway, and I guess I'll get to it when I have the guts to read it, when I'm not feeling sick in the stomach at the thought of reading it. Like, I know I need to try new things eventually, but right now I'm kind of scared about reading it, shall we say. And that's the same for this one, It. Currently, I don't mind clowns, and I don't mind circus clowns and stuff like that. My mum was like, yeah, if you like clowns, you're probably best not to read that. And she's probably right. Like, I'm kind of, as I said with all the others, I'm scared to read this like I am scared with all the others. I like the sound of the story premises and all of that, but I watched the trailer and I pretty much jumped off my seat when I saw the trailer for the movie thing. And this says, to the children, the town was their whole world. To the adults knowing better, Derry, Maine was just their hometown. Familiar, well-ordered, a good place to live. It was the children who saw and felt what made Derry so horribly different. In the storm drains, in the sewers, it lurked, taking on the shape of every nightmare, each person's deepest dread. Sometimes it reached up, seizing, tearing, killing. The adults knowing better knew nothing. Time passed and the children grew up, moved away. The horror of it was deep buried, wrapped in forgetfulness, until the grown-up children were called back, once more to confront it, as it stirred and coiled in the sullen depths of their memories, reaching up again to make their past nightmares a terrible present reality. Frightening, epic and brilliant, Stephen King's It is one of the greatest works of a true storytelling master. So yeah, I'm kind of petrified about reading this, and I'm not sure when I will read it, or if I think I'm going to start with Stephen King's The Dome first, see how I go with that, because I don't think The Dome is quite as scary, but yeah, I just feel knots in my stomach at the thought of reading this. So, yeah, it's kind of... I watched a vlog of someone on YouTube reading this, and they tried turning the lights off and they got petrified and stuff like that, and so it's like, I don't know when exactly I'll read that. Next one is called The Overstory by Richard Powers. From what I know, this was shortlisted in the Man Booker Prize, is it? I think it was. I don't really know much about it, but I kind of want to go into it without much knowledge. And I really like the cover and the way the cover is. But it says, an Air Force loadmaster in the Vietnam War is shot out of the sky, then saved by falling into a banyan. An artist inherits 100 years of photographic portraits, all of the same doomed American chestnut. A hard-partying undergraduate in the late 1980s electrocutes himself, dies, and is sent back into life by creatures of air and light. A hearing and speech-impaired scientist discovers that trees are communicating with one another. These 4 and 5 other strangers, each summoned in different ways by trees, are brought together in a last and violent stand to save the continent's few remaining acres of virgin forest. So... yeah, it kind of sounds interesting. It's just black with the silver writing by the looks of it, or brown with silver writing on the book. It sounds like it would be an interesting story to read, and I look forward to it. And the last one is Marked in Flesh by Anne Bishop, which is the 4th in the Others series. I don't really know much on these either, but I've been slowly collecting the series. But it just says, for centuries the Others and humans have lived side by side in an uneasy peace. But when humankind oversteps its bounds, the Others will have to decide how much humanity they're willing to tolerate, both within themselves and within their community. And so from what I know, it's to do with like humans and like other beings, like from what it says here, since others allied themselves with the Cassandra Sangu, the fragile yet powerful human blood prophets who were being exploited by their own kind, the delicate dynamic between humans and others had changed. Some, such as Simon Wolfgard, wolf shifter and leader of the Lakeside Courtyard, and blood prophet Meg Corbin, see the new, closer companionship as beneficial, both personally and practically. But not everyone is convinced. A group of radical humans is seeking to upset land through a series of violent attacks on the others. What they don't realise is that there are older and more dangerous forces than shifters and vampires protecting the land that belongs to the others. And those forces are willing to do whatever is necessary to protect what is theirs. So, yeah, it sounds interesting. I'd say it's a bit of a fantasy sort of novel based around this by Anne Bishop. And yeah, I look forward to getting to it sometime. It's also got Written in Red, which is the first book. Murder of Crows is the second book, and Vision in Silver is the third. From what I know, I think there's like 7 or something released at the moment. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this anyway, and let me know what books you might have gotten recently or enjoy reading and what you think of these books, because I'd love to hear your opinions. Yeah, I can't say when I'll be reading the Stephen King ones because I'm kind of scared of them. But yeah, we'll get to it eventually, I'm sure. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.